Steven. How you doing, man? Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, Merry Christmas, and hopefully a big New Year's coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking forward to that. We were on the air yesterday when we got the news about our guy CeeDee Lamb. What a monster year he's had fighting through the injuries. What sort of went into that decision to keep him out the rest of the way?
Well, it was not getting any better, and as probably anyone could see watching the games, he was, anytime he got hit on it or fell on it, it was just, serious pain for him, and regardless of what we were doing to try to help him. So, it just it was progressively, getting worse, and we felt, so he didn't, not only hurt that worse, but protecting it, he could hurt something else. It was the right thing to do for him, because you got to protect him from himself. He's a competitor. That we're up to him, he'd be out there playing Sunday, but we just felt like it was the best thing to do.
No surgery, though, will be required, so he should be good to go for springtime activities and training camp and whatnot?
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't look like we'll need surgery. We'll monitor it and see how it progresses, with him being able to, not have any collisions and not having any contact on it. Let's see how it goes, and we'll make a final decision on it. But right now, it looks like it's not going to require surgery.
So what's the plan for Sunday then, wide receiver-wise? Who do you see stepping up? Might we get some more Jonathan Mingo targets?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we gave a fourth-round pick for Jonathan. It's tough to get in the mix when you hadn't been working with the quarterbacks and that type of thing. But, between him and Flournoy and, the rest of the crew, the regulars out there, we'll have a good group out there. And this will be a great chance, for these guys to step up and do something. I thought Flournoy did an outstanding job last Sunday making some plays. And I think the more opportunities he gets, along with Mingo and, our regulars out there, should be good. One thing we'll have to monitor too is Tolbert's finger. He had a serious dislocation. Had to be careful with it all week, but he's very tough and wants to play with it, and we'll see how he does. But we like our receiving group, and be great to see these guys get the opportunity to step up and make plays.
Steven, when we had the chance to work the draft there at the Star last year, we got to interview several of the coaches, some scouts along the way. We always appreciate that opportunity. To a man, they were so complimentary of Maris Leofau. And it was just gushing about the player and what he could bring and all that. Is there I want to say there's probably more to his game, but you have to be pleased what you saw with that start the other night.
Oh, well, he's been outstanding. I mean, he's a guy who makes plays on the ball. He's got a real knack for getting the ball out. He's got a great way of punching the ball out when he gets there. And on top of that, he's very physical when he gets there. And, we just think he's got tremendous upside for us, and been great to see him flourish, in Overshown's absence. And, to look at Overshown and him as our future linebacker, that Mike and Will spot is so key and critical to what we do. And, obviously that Sam guy kind of can come in a lot of different shapes, whether it's a pass rusher, whether it's a safety type, whatever that is. That'll be interesting. But obviously to have Maris and Overshown, looking to our future, really makes everybody around the building smile.
Steven, I was looking at Cooper Beebe last year. I was watching him play guard, and I know that he's been playing center for you. Is there ever been a thought with maybe the 2 weeks to go to maybe put Hoffman at center and see how he would play at guard? Or is it just, hey, let's ride with what we got and try and finish this thing out and win football games?
Well, I think BB's we want to win games, as you know, Brian. And, that's been our battle cry, ever since people wrote us off, which was, obviously we were at the time we weren't playing that well, but we're playing good football right now, and I think BB's really zoned in. But in the future, that's one of the great things if you're an offensive lineman, is to have versatility and to be able to swing from center guard, guard center, or guard tackle, tackle guard. All those things make you all the more valuable to a team this day and time. And certainly we've got guys, who are having some versatility for us. Awesome Richards has some of that. We'll be getting him back. We started the clock on him this week. It'll be great to get him back. And, we've got a good young group of linemen. And I just think, between guys like him and Guyton and Let's Go and Awesome Richards and Hoffman and BB, it's a good core group of guys that we really feel good about in terms of, our depth and what we may need in the future. Between that and that tight end room, we feel really good offensively about those groups.
Well, and Stephen, you mentioned your tight end room. Yes, the metrics say that you guys are playing more 12 personnel. Is that in fact that maybe I know that maybe it's some some game planning stuff you do, but with Schoonmaker and then also with Spanford, is that kind of like, hey, listen, we've got a couple of kids that can play behind Ferguson and give us what we need?
No question, and both of them, all of them, can do the Y job to a degree that you feel comfortable with them in there, and that allows you, as you well know, to run the football, and that's what we want to do. We've done a good job of that over the last 5 or 6 games, and feel like that's our DNA going forward, is to use that tight end room, and you throw in some more guys like a Fant, who has got a lot to him, and you throw in a John Stevens, who unfortunately has had 2 tough years injury-wise, and he's a very talented tight end for us. So, feel very good about that group. And then you throw in a Lepke at fullback, and, we really like our personnel group there. So, feel good about the future there. Obviously, we got some things offensively we'll need to continue to improve upon, but we really like our offensive personnel as we start to see this thing come together and what we may look like in the future.
Stephen, Osa has played really, really well for you guys, and every week you could see that on the tape. Has Osa played better because Mozzie Smith's played better?
I think that's a big part of it, Brian. I think you're hitting it good, and certainly Osa is really getting his hands around, why we drafted him. You draft a big one technique like that. That's what he did. He was outstanding at Michigan, and obviously came here, and Dan's a la Rod Marinelli, a little bit up the field type, and he felt like, well, maybe I should lose some weight and be better at getting up the field. But Mozzie's just so strong and can obviously play that 2 gap in a really good way, and I think he is playing well, and I think Osa does feed off that.
Stephen, we mentioned Osa there. There's Chauncey Golston, Rico Dowdle, Jordan Lewis, guys who have played really well for you during this stretch and are also pending free agents. Are these final 2 games part of your evaluation in terms of if you want to bring those guys back, or do you say, no, look, we want those guys regardless, it's just a matter of making the money work?
Yeah, we want them. We want them back. I mean, they've shown that they're Dallas Cowboy football players, and they're certainly guys that we want to have back. It's just making all the calculus work when it comes to fitting everybody in underneath the salary cap. But they're all guys who played their ass off. They play hard. They play the way we want a Dallas Cowboy football player to play, and they're competitive as hell, and guys that we want to have back on our football team.
Stephen Jones with us here on The Fan. Where have you seen growth from Micah Parsons this year, on and off the field?
Yeah, I think, like any player who plays in this league over time, usually they just get better. And certainly Micah's one of those guys. Sometimes it's hard to fathom Micah getting better, but I don't think it's happen chance that our football team started playing better when we got Micah back. And, I think he's understanding more and more. He tells me he's a big student of the game. He tells me, has had conversations with me about, the football knowledge he's gained from playing under Mike Zimmer and what Mike's trying to do, and he's taught him a lot. And I think Micah's arc's still up, and as we all see, when he's in there playing, and boy, we had Overshone in there. It was fun to watch those guys move, and throwing a guy like Marist into the mix as well. Mixing him in with those two makes you smile. And as you said, you throw in a Mozzie and an Osa, and get a guy like Sam Williams back, and some of those guys, and the Nealon continues to mature, then you can start to feel really good. I think we could still use help in our front seven, but that'll be something that we'll all take a look at after after the season's over. But we still got 2 football games left to play, and we want to start out by beating the Eagles.
How much more Tyler Guyton can we expect to see over these next 2 games?
I think we'll see a lot of Tyler as we move forward, and that's just a deal where it's just maturing, and Tyler's got all the skill set that you could ask for. He's athletic as hell. He's long as hell. He's got everything you look for in a left tackle, and I think he'll just continue to get better. He hadn't played a lot of football. I mean, obviously moved around a little bit between TCU and Oklahoma, and but he's only going to get better, and we feel really good about his future.
Hey, Stephen, when you look at, like you say, this, we were listening to Jerry talk this morning, and and he was kind of made a reference about plug and play, and I think that we've all kind of throw that moniker on you guys because you've done a great job with it. Is it one of those things when you talk about Guyton that maybe that the learning curve was a little bit steeper? And you just mentioned because maybe going to a couple different programs, was the learning curve a little bit steeper there than what you guys thought when you did your evaluation?
Not necessarily. I mean, you look around the league and see offensive tackles, that didn't necessarily play well their first year. I mean, Tyler Smith, had his ups and downs his rookie year. I remember sitting in personnel meetings week after week. Mm-hmm. He was having his share of holding penalties and, having things that you wanted to be better. But when you're, obviously pugging and playing, a couple rookies and, on the same offensive line, then the challenge gets a little more and don't get as much help. But, I just think all these guys are going to be mainstays in our offensive line. And, you look across the board at what we got coming for our future. I feel good about not only our offensive line, but our depth in our offensive line. And, those big guys are hard to find. So you got to, wouldn't surprise me a bit if we draft another one. So, don't know where that'll be because we feel so good about our group, but we'll continue to bolt on there and add on and continue to try to build because obviously, any quarterback's best friend's a good running game. And, as we move forward, you get a good running game and get these guys to where they continue to improve protecting Dak going forward in the future, then it should all be good.
Stephen, what do you like to eat when you go to Philadelphia? You a cheesesteak guy? I mean, do you make it a point to enjoy the culinary experience in each city you go to?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we rarely do we go through Philadelphia that we don't get good cheesesteaks. So have to admit there's not a lot I like about Philadelphia because of the Eagles. But it's hard to smile when you look around Philly. But, going to those Pats and some of those great places, those Philly steak cheeses are outstanding. And in all seriousness, there's wonderful people in Philly, and we've moved around the city there before. And great folks, and other than the Eagles, there's a lot to like about Philadelphia.
Well, hey, if you say so, Stephen, I'll take your word for it. We appreciate the time, man, and have a safe trip and enjoy the game.
All right, guys. Happy New Year.